this one is going to be a doozy. It's about time we did a speed reviews. I did not do a speed reviews in October because we had so many new releases. Then the Sephora sale hit us and it has been non-stop. So in this video, I am going to take you through everything that I have tried in October and November. We're going to couple up those months and I'm going to take you through everything I have tried if I've had enough time to test it out properly and thoroughly. We're going to do it speed review style and I'll take you through every product and let you know what I think about it. I do have a feeling this might be a long one, so let's get comfy. I will have linked in the description box down below everything I talk about in this video today, along with what I have on my face today. And since most of what I'm wearing today are these products, I will put a star next to a product in the description box if it happens to be what I'm wearing today. I'm going to start off with the Summer Fridays Jet Lag Hydration Mist. This I have actually been really enjoying. This is a product that you can use under your skincare. You can use this before your primer. You can use this after you've applied your makeup. And it's supposed to, not supposed to, it actually does provide like a surge of moisture to your face. Very soothing, and it's like giving your skin a drink of water, and it doesn't disturb the makeup that you have on. So if you are feeling a little bit dry or you just want to refresh, this one's really great. Mostly what I have been using this for is the step right before I apply my primer. It does make your skin feel super great. It's not overly hydrating. It's soothing, and it just feels really great on the skin. So if this is the type of product that you enjoy using, then this is a great one to pick up for sure. I also have been testing out the TATCHA Liquid Canvas Primer. I picked up a mini and I love the way this feels on the skin. It does a great job of just prepping the skin for your makeup. Grips right on. I feel like my makeup looks smoother, nicer when I use this, and I really have been enjoying it. Again, another mini. I think I have to put this up against my Tom Ford. I'm gonna do one half of my face with the liquid canvas and the other side with Tom Ford, because that's the way I like to test out products. When I love two products, I like to use them side by side to see the actual difference. But so far, so good. Been loving this. It's very light. It feels hydrating on the face, but it does the job of a primer, smoothing out the skin before you apply your makeup, and it's wonderful. Another primer that I tried is the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Blurring Stick, Mattifying Blurring Stick. So I don't need much mattifying all over my face, but I do like to use mattifying products or blur sticks like this one in my T-zone where I have visible pores or where I like to control shine. And so this one has actually surprised me. It's really great. It does a wonderful job of blurring those areas. Like I mentioned, T-zone, especially right here where I do have visible pores. Not all the time, but I use it almost like an insurance policy just in case I might end up being shiny or my pores are shining through that day. This is a wonderful product that's actually very effective. Okay, let's quickly go through some tools that I tried and then we'll get on to the juicy stuff. The first thing I want to show you is this Glossier Sharpener for eyeliners, for lip liners, and it's an extremely good sharpener. Very good sharpener. And what I love about this as well is that it has this to deposit all of the shavings into it. So I always love that. Otherwise, you end up sometimes with the shavings all over your desk or wherever you're applying your makeup. So I love having this as part of a really great sharpener. So I love this one. I also tried the Jones Road bronzer brush. It is an extremely large brush. The brush itself, very soft, very nice, but for bronzer, I feel like for my face is a little bit too large. So although I do love the brush, I don't think I would use this for bronzer in particular. I would use this for all over powder or something you want to dust all over your face, like my Hourglass finishing powder trios. This would be perfect for it because it gets over such a large area. I mean, look, it's the size of my forehead. When I use this to apply bronzer, it just gets a little bit messy and away from me. So brush is great, brush is nice, but not for the intended purpose, in my humble opinion. Another brush that I tried is the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe number 3. This is specifically for cream blush. So it's a cream blush brush. cream blush brush. Say that 5 times fast. Really, really nice brush, very effective in blending out cream blushes so easily, and it kind of blurs them out because as you can see, there are hairs on this brush that kind of stick out. So it's a little bit floofier at the top, although in the base, it's a lot more dense. And so that really helps to be able to spread out your cream or liquid blushes, not brushes. Brush and blush, we need different words for those. Anyway, really, really great. Loving this one. I also picked up the Mario F4 brush. It's a dual-ended brush. I do enjoy a dual-ended brush. Not everybody does, but this side is more for packing in liquid bronzer or anything like that, or if you want to work in a smaller area. And then the other side is more for foundation, etc. So this is a very, very good brush. I love that it's multi-use. I grab the one brush, I can do my foundation, and then I can do my cream bronzer, or you can use this for your cream or liquid blushes as well. Very effective, very beautiful, very, very nice brush. And I'm so glad I picked it up because I had been eyeing it for a really, really long time, and I finally pulled the trigger on it, and I'm so glad that I did. Wow, so far it sounds like I've really liked everything that I've tried, but as we get into the rest, that's not necessarily the case. Nothing has been horrible, but we'll get into it. Let's quickly speed through brows. I tried two, the first one being the Anastasia Beverly Hills Volumizing Brow Gel. I got mine in the shade medium brown, and I love this. I love it because of the wand. The wand has a longer bristle side and a shorter bristle side. You can use this to backcomb to add volume, but it's small enough that it doesn't get product all around your eyebrow. The reason I bring this up is because I have very sparse eyebrows, very, very thin eyebrows. So I do appreciate a small wand. I use the shorter bristle side for detail work, the longer the longer bristle side to apply the product. You have to let it dry if you're going to go in with a pencil afterward, but I have been loving it, and the shade medium brown is perfect for me. Love, love, love this. The other brow product that I tried is the Merit 1980 Volumizing Brow Pomade in the shade dark brown. I will show you the difference here. So this is a very good product. However, it has a much larger wand, not a much larger wand, but a larger wand than the ABH one. And so this one I find a little bit more difficult in comparison to control where I apply the product. However, and that's because my eyebrows are the way that they are. If they weren't the way that they are, and if they were bushy and full, then this would be amazing. I am going to continue to use it because like I said, the product is great. I do like it. I just have to be very, very careful when I apply it. If I had to choose between the Anastasia and this one, for me, it would be the Anastasia, but this one also a very good product. Moving on to the under eyes, my biggest problem area. I tried the Dermatology Eye Corrector. This has SPF 41, right? SPF 41 for under your eye, and it does such a great job of correcting the darkness under my eyes. It's not too peachy, it's not heavy under the eye, it's perfect. I use it on my lid and my under eye. It has a beautiful cooling applicator, but I think I've mentioned a couple times as I've used this in other videos. You're supposed to do a half a pump or a full pump depending on what you want from the component, and then you're supposed to apply directly to your eye. I do not use this that way. I feel like too much product is applied. So what I do is I will pump it out, I will apply to the back of my hand, whatever is left. I use this cooling, feels so good on the eye applicator to spread the product out. If I need a little bit more and I want more of that cooling sensation, I will go in, pick some more up, but I apply it little by little. I don't go straight in. That's how I found that it has been working perfectly for me. And then for the rest, I will use my finger. I'll take more product if I need more product that particular day. But that's how I've been using it. That's how it's been working for me. It is fantastic. I love that it has SPF. I love it. I use the shade medium. On my days where I'm running out the door and I'm not mussing and fussing, I will use this and only this for my under eyes and my lids, or just my under eyes. And it does a perfect job because, as I mentioned, it's not too peachy. So you can definitely use this as your one and only concealer, depending on how much coverage you need and what you want for the day. But love this. Highly recommend. Highly, highly. I also picked up the face pencil from Jones Road in shade 7. I had picked up their corrector pencil in the shade Peach, which I also really, really like. If I had to choose between the Dermatology and the Jones Road, I'd pick the Dermatology, but they're completely different products. One's a pencil, one is a liquid, but we're not talking about correctors right now. We're talking about concealers right now. So you can use this all over the face. You can use it under the eye. On my everyday, very, very natural makeup looking days, I will go in with a Dermatology to correct, and then I'll take this, and because it's a pencil, you can just be so precise where you apply it, where you need it. And so you don't over apply, and you're left with a very smooth, beautifully corrected, concealed under eye. You can use this on the lid as well. I love this. It is a pencil, but it's not dry. It doesn't drag across your skin. It's creamy, but not too creamy. And I love it. I love it. Wow, I've been loving everything. What's going on? All right, let's move on to powder. I tried two. So, Danessa Myricks Evolution Powder. I picked up two. I picked up pink and I picked up two light medium. So, speaking about these shades in particular, the pink one does not suit me. I don't look great when I put this under my eye. It's a little bit too light for me and I look ghostly. So that's shade aside. However, this powder in the shade 2, I love, and it's smoothing, it's blurring, it's everything that you want the Givenchy to now be what it once was, right? So if you're looking for an alternative to the Givenchy Prism Libre powder, now that they have reformulated it, I do love this powder. It's wonderful. It is wonderful. It had to take the Givenchy powder being reformulated for me to try all these other powders, because also I have been loving the Mario powder, just not under my eyes. But this one is perfect under the eyes, perfect all over the face, blurring, natural, gorgeous, does such an amazing job, and I love it. However, I did try another powder, and well, let's get into it. The other powder I tried is the Tarte Creaseless Setting Powder. I picked mine up in the shade Yellow. I love this powder just as much as the Danessa Myricks. They're both blurring. They're both beautiful, beautiful on the skin. And for me, who have fine lines under my eyes, it's really important that a loose powder doesn't emphasize those fine lines under my eyes. So this one I can definitely use under my eyes as well. However, what I love about this one a little bit more than the Danessa Myricks is the packaging. I did go through this in a previous video, but it does come with a puff, a cute little puff that, and I don't always use puffs. I usually use like a fluffy brush to apply under my eyes, because I find when I use a puff, maybe too much is deposited under my eye and it gets a little bit heavy sometimes. But this one, I don't know why, but it works. And I have been using this puff. And what I love about this is that it's not messy. It's got the little mesh over here. You can put a brush in there. You can use the puff. You can use whatever tool you prefer to apply your powder. But I love it because it's not messy at all. The Danessa Myricks, as gorgeous as that powder is, it can be a little bit messy. Let me show you the component of the Danessa Myricks just so that you can see the difference. So it does have like a mesh as well, but a lot of product comes out and it's hard to control. So that is the big distinction between these two. Performance wise, top notch, both of them. You cannot go wrong. And also then it will come down to shade. If you can find a shade that matches you better, I highly recommend both of them. Now for the Tarte, the yellow works. I'm wearing it today and it's really great. I'm so interested now that I know that I love this formula. I do want to go in store and see if I can find a shade that is just a tad lighter, just a smidge lighter, because maybe it might even be better. I'm not sure. I do like the yellow. I like it. It can sometimes look a little bit dark on me, a little bit, but it depends on the day. It's not consistently dark. So maybe it depends on what I'm using as a base, etc., etc. I will not go on. I'm going to try another shade in this and see if I like it better, but otherwise I will stick with this one. I picked up two Jones Road The Bronzer. Let me open these up so you can see the shades. Here is Light Tan and here is Dusty Rose. So I picked up Light Tan as, you know, a regular bronzer, and I picked up Dusty Rose to use as sort of a bronzer slash blush because it does have that rosiness to it. Here are swatches. So here is the light tan and here is the dusty rose. They're beautiful shades. They really, really are. However, what I do want to say about these is that they kind of fall flat on my face. They're fine. There's nothing wrong with them, but they might be a little bit too just powdery and flat. Very, very flat. I don't always want a glowy bronzer. I don't. But these are less than matte almost. They almost just drown me out. They're very, very lackluster on my face. And so I'm not really a fan of them on me. Is the formula bad? No, the formula is not bad. But I like a powder bronzer that has a little bit of creaminess to it. And these do not have any creaminess to them. They are powdery, very powdery. So they don't look bad. I'm not wearing them because I don't reach for them really anymore. I've tried them enough over the past couple of months to have a final opinion on them. And I don't like the way they look on me. I'm not sure if it's the shades. I'm not sure. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's both the shades and the formula. For me, not my preference. Not my preference. The YSL Make Me Blush Liquid Blushes. Okay, so I have two. I have Nude Lavalier and Peachy Nude. This is Peachy Nude and this is Nude Lavalier, and I am wearing Nude Lavalier today. So these ones, these are so very highly pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. They are blurring. They are a liquid to powder. You can apply them over powder, except in my last video, I applied it over the Jones Road bronzer, and that didn't work out very, very well. So I would suggest that even though this has applied over powder for me very, very well, that time it didn't. So just in case you don't want a blotchy mess like I had in my last video, then I would apply these to the back of your hand, spread them out, and then apply them. They're blurring. They're very, very long lasting. I prefer the Nude Lavalier on me than the Peachy Nude. Even though I love a peachy nude on me, this particular shade might be a little bit too on the darker side for me, but I still love it and I still use it. They're pricey, but if you want a liquid blush that will last all day long, and I mean all day long, this is the one. The standout blushes for me are the Huda Beauty. I have two shades. I don't think I've used this on camera, and I will show you the shade called Cotton Candy, and this is the shade called Latte. If you notice, they have different logos on them. That's because this Latte one was released recently with her Icy Nude collection after she had changed the logo of the Huda Beauty brand. And this one was released, I think, a few months ago. I can't remember, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. And as you can see, it has a different logo. It doesn't really matter. I'm just pointing that out because I did notice that. This is the Latte shade, and this is Cotton Candy. They're both delicious. The formula of these is beautiful. They spread on so easily, and it's like this blurring effect on your cheeks, you know? So there's color there, but not really there. But there's a distinction between these. So if we're talking specifically just about color, just adding a little bit of blush on your cheeks, so easy to use. On the weekend, went out for dinner with some friends, and the day got away from me, and I realized I only had just a few minutes to get ready, and I put this on, and it just gave the most beautiful flush of color, and it was just so easy to blend in, so easy to use, and this Cotton Candy just gives that sweetness. It's such a sweetness to the cheeks. I love it. I love it, and I love a pink blush. So for me, I love this shade. So formula-wise, they're the same, but they're different in the fact that the Latte shade is more of a bronzer, so a bronzer blush. I have used this, I think, a few times on my channel. I don't want to say the word obsessed. Don't say obsessed. I love it deeply. Deeply, okay? So this I have used on its own without any blush on top. I've used it on my eyes. I use it to bronze my whole face, even though it's a blush, a bronzer, but it's technically a blush. I love the shade Latte. It comes in a darker shade called Cocoa Crush, I think, or Cocoa. Not sure. That one may be a little bit too dark for me. So I'm going to stick with my Latte. I love this. I've been using it so much. I mean, you can see it's almost like I've used a quarter of it already. So I love these. I love these. And actually, they're quite reasonably priced compared to the YSL. Love the YSL, don't get me wrong. A lot more long lasting than these ones. These will fade a little bit more quickly than the YSL, but still long lasting enough, right? So, not as pigmented as the YSL, but still wonderful. I love them. Cannot recommend them more. Well, Gucci Gel Powder Highlighter. This is in Opal Pink. I want you to see the little dent I've made in there. I am trying to make sure that the lighting is enough for you to see the kind of glow you can get from this highlighter. Here are two stripes of this. This one I intensified a little bit more, and this one was just one pass, just so you can see that you can definitely make it much more intense if you would like to. I hope it's coming through on camera how smooth this highlighter is. That's the way I want to describe it. Smooth. Lit from within, well, it depends how crazy you go. I went a little bit, a little ham today, with it because I just love it. And what I love even more is this on my eyelids. Remember when I was telling you about not having enough time to get ready for dinner with friends on the weekend? Well, all I did was I took that Huda Beauty Latte bronzer, I put it in my crease, then I dipped my little finger into this, put it across my lids. I had the most beautiful, natural. Actually, now that I think about it, I think I'm going to do a reel on Instagram, which if you're not following me on Instagram yet, please do. I'm going to be posting a lot more over there. So what I did, I slapped my makeup on. When I tell you it was done in 10 minutes, and I used the latte in the Huda, this on my lid. It was beautiful, it was impactful, but it was so light. So I had makeup on, but it wasn't a crazy amount of makeup, and it was gorgeous. I love the way that it turned out. Anyway, I digress. I love this highlighter. It is extremely pricey, which is why I've been using it as many ways as I possibly can. So on the eyes, fantastic. On the cheeks, beautiful. I love it. Smooth, gorgeous, perfection. Usually if something is that expensive and is a good product, I'm like, okay, it's good, it's great, but not for the money. This one, worth every penny. I regret 0 cents. I regret $0, 0 pennies that I spent on that highlighter. Okay, eyes and lips are left. Eyes and lips are left. I tried 5 eyeshadow palettes. 5. I know. Anastasia Beverly Hills Mini Spice. I have a video where I use this. It is stupendous. The shimmers in here are out of this world. It is a beautiful 9-pan palette. Very neutral, very neutral every day, but you can definitely use this for nighttime looks. Get it all glammed up, get it all glamorous. You will love this. It is so gorgeous on the eyes, and at first looks like a very boring regular palette, and it does, but you can just use the mattes in here if you want to. We have a beautiful gradient of neutrals, so that you go from light to smoky. The shimmers out of this world, and I love this palette. I love it, and it has reignited my love for ABH eyeshadows. ABH as a brand in general. I love it. So great. Price point, also great. Huda Beauty Icy Nude, her holiday release that she does every year. This is supposedly her very last 18-pan palette. Let's take a look inside. So very gorgeous. I do have a dedicated review with I think two or three looks, I can't remember, with this palette. What I loved about this palette is that I was able to get very, very neutral and light and everyday, and I could really, really sparkle it up. There is one throwaway shade, in my opinion, in here, and that is this glittery shade that is very, very gritty and does really, really nothing. It's a glitter topper, but it doesn't feel great. It does not feel great at all. So that's the one that I'm gonna call out. But all these like putty shades, VVS, Diamond Dew, all of them, they really are gorgeous and dance on the eyes. And I I love this palette. I do. You can get pretty, pretty smoky with these dark shades and keep it really, really light if you stay on this row right here, or this column, I should say. Really pink, but neutral, but smoky, silvery, but dark silver. Like it's gorgeous. I love it. This shade VVS though, right here, if you can see, I've hit pan on it already. It's that like poofy kind of texture, and you can definitely see pan on here. And I haven't used it that much because I have been trying so many eyeshadow palettes. So just keep that in mind, that that could happen to you. Like there's a whole missing part right there. So I just wanted to point that out. But the formulas are great, the mattes are great, they're blendable, they're pigmented, everything you want from an eyeshadow palette. And so if this is your color story, then you really can't go wrong with this one, especially being her last palette. We don't know if that's the case and what that really, really means. So hopefully she doesn't stick to her 9-pan palettes, because I don't like the formula in those. I do much more prefer her 18-pan palette formula, which is made in Italy, and I don't think the other ones are. I can't remember where they're made, but anyway, you can't go wrong with this. In summary, again, if you like this color story, the formula is great. All right, moving on to the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Moonlight Palette. Okay, gorgeous, right? I love this color story. I'm a sucker for blue, and I love that we have that pop of blue. I love that we can go dark on this side and we can keep it light on this side. Formula, amazing. These sparkles are more ethereal and more of toppers, right? You're not going to get too much base from them, but you can get a gorgeous, gorgeous look out of this palette. The shades in here run very, very gray on me. Even in this row right here, they do tend to lean gray. So it's a very, very cool palette. And if that is what you're looking for, then fantastic. But I know if I'm reaching for something and I want it to be not warm, but neutral, it's not neutral neutral. It's a neutral gray, neutral, very, very cool on me. So I just want to quickly swatch this shade right here, which really, really throws me off every time because I want to use this as a transition color. That's the one that I reach to, with my eye is drawn to for that, for a transition shade that's very, very neutral. Okay, gray, almost green, almost green. On my skin tone, on my skin tone. So if you are similar to me, just know that that's what you're getting with this palette, okay? I'm not saying it's not gorgeous. I'm not saying it's not nice, but I'm just saying, know what you're getting, know what you're getting. So overall, I do love it. It is gorgeous. Formula is amazing. And I love that blue. Oh, I love that blue. However, I can't get very, very neutral looks from this. I get very, very cool looks from this. So when I'm feeling like a cool look, definitely will reach for this one. Gorgeous though, beautiful. Viseart Serenus Attendu. Serenus Attendu. Wow, 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 wow. I have a whole dedicated video to this, along with all these other palettes. I have dedicated videos for, and you know what? I'll link them in the description box if you haven't seen them already and you're curious to see different looks and an extensive review on the palettes. But this one really, really caught me by surprise, only because, I didn't think it was going to be so impactful. But my goodness gracious, how beautiful is this palette? Everything in here, it's just so creamy. It doesn't emphasize any texture on my 51-year-old eyelids. I love it. I'm not wearing it today. I'm wearing the other one that I'm going to talk about next. But I have been loving playing around with this one. It's so super amazing. And actually, I did have someone ask me to compare this shade right here to that other shade that I swatched for you in the Mario. And I think I'm going to do it here just in case that person is watching, because I did ask them to message me on IG, where I will gladly swatch and do comparisons for you. 100%. If you ever want me to do that, just message me on IG, and whatever you want me to do swatches for comparison, I will gladly do that. But since we're here and since we're talking about all these palettes, let me do that so you can see a comparison of something, a shade like this that looks a little bit cooler. Let's see what it looks like up against that other one from Mario. What I did mention in that video and what I loved about this shade was that it didn't look too cool on my eyelids. It was a cool shade that didn't look gray. And although it's a brownie purpley color, in comparison, look in comparison the difference between the two. To the person who asked me that question, here you go. That is the difference between, because I know you were struggling with how gray the Mario was looking on you. So here you go. Yes, it's on the cooler side, but on the eyes, it does not look cool. It does not look gray. It is the color it is supposed to be. Here you go. I really hope that's helpful. Back to the palette overall. Okay, gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful formula. Viseart, the Viseart formula, so good. So, so good. You cannot go wrong. And I love this color story. The duochromes in here, the metallics. Wow, wow, wow. What a gorgeous shine you get. So smooth on the eyelid. If you have mature eyes that have, a little bit of wrinklage happening, then you cannot go wrong with this. I love it. I love it. If this is your color story, Viseart's the way to go. I'm telling you, it's so, so great. So great. And finally, let's talk about the Natasha Denona Roxa palette. I am wearing this palette today, and I decided to do a little bit of a smokier eye and make it as purple as I could get with a little bit of sparkle. This is the palette right here. A lot of people are having some concerns over these reds and oranges and corals on this side of the palette. I have to be honest and say I haven't dove into those shades because I'm not necessarily drawn to them. So for me, you know what I do want to though? I keep on saying try them out, and I will, and I will, and I will. I'll update you again probably by the end of the year when I do my yearly roundup. But what I want out of this palette are purple looks. That because I love purple and I think it's just so flattering on every eye color. And the shimmers in here are not as impactful. They're not like crazy Natasha Denona sparkles, and metallics. They're beautiful. They're beautiful, don't get me wrong, but they're kind of more subdued than I'm used to from her palettes. But do I love this color story? Do I love the look I put together with this today? If you love purple and if this is your color story, if we're talking about formula, it's your classic Natasha Denona, high performing, beautifully spreadable, beautifully blendable, gorgeous, gorgeous. There goes the sun. Amazing shadows in here. If this is the type of look that you like on your eyes, not everybody likes this type of color story. But if you do, well, it's gorgeous. It is beautiful. Finishing off the eyes are the eyeliners that I tried. Jones Road, the best pencil in the shade brown, and this is a swatch of the shade. It is a very nice shade of brown. It is a good pencil. I wouldn't call it the best pencil. It's an okay pencil. That's all I have to say about it. I mean, if you have it, and I do obviously have it, I will continue to use it, but there's nothing extraordinary about it. It's okay. It's good. It's a good pencil. It's not the best pencil. It's a good pencil. The next pencil that I tried is the Laura Mercier, and I picked up the shade Cocoa, thinking it was going to be a pretty brown shade, because cocoa to me sounds like a brown shade. I've swatched it here for you, and this will be against the Jones Road Brown. So here is the Laura Mercier in Cocoa. Very warm, very almost cranberry, very red kind of brown. And although I love the pencil because it glides on so beautifully, it's creamy, it's long lasting, really great formula. The shade is one that I would use for very particular looks. It's not like my everyday brown that I would use. So the shade is throwing me off, but the pencil itself is really, really great. I think I want to pick up a black and see what other shades I can pick up in that formula. But Cocoa, as much as it is beautiful, don't get me wrong, it is beautiful. However, this shade is a little bit too red for me for an everyday use. Can I find a use for it for certain looks? Sure, but it's not going to be an everyday pencil that I reach for. I also tried a new liquid liner, the new liquid liner from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is in brown. Here is a swatch of this liquid liner. Now that is a brown I can get down for in a liquid formula. That is gorgeous. A very beautiful brown shade if you're using a liquid liner, a brown liquid liner, because it's not too light, it's not too red, it's not too dark, it's not too brown black. It's a perfect brown shade. I also love, love, love the formula. First of all, it just glides on beautifully, but that is mostly because of this here brush, which is so very easy to use. You can be very precise. It doesn't apply too much product. You can have a lot of control because, as we know, with liquid liners, it can easily get out of hand and away from you. Doesn't happen with this one. And so I love it. When I use it the first time, I think it was in a trying new makeup video or my Sephora haul video. I can't remember which video it was, but I loved it and it looked so beautiful. You can get a nice thick line if that's what you like. You can get a very fine point and line. This one I am definitely going to pick up the black shade in because I love this formula. Beautiful, especially if you're a beginner. This is very beginner friendly. I tried 3 lip liners and all 3 are very creamy. All 3 are very long lasting. And I have nothing bad to say about either of them. I'm just going to talk about them individually and then show you swatches of the shades that I picked up. The first one that I want to show you is the Say liner. Beautiful, beautiful. And this is the shade French. And I love this shade. It's like a pinky nude, glides on like a dream. So very long lasting, gorgeous, just gorgeous. I cannot distinguish between the 3 that I'm going to be talking about today because they've all impressed me and I can't say which one I like more. Not that I have to say which one I like more. They're just all so incredible. Got really lucky with the lip liners these past 2 months. Next up is the Jones Road lip pencil in the shade Nudist right here. So what I want to call out about this shade in particular. So the formula already mentioned, really great. Just as great as the Say, as long lasting, as smooth, as creamy. This is a beautiful neutral lip liner that you can add to any lipstick or to any gloss on your lips. I love it. It's so perfectly neutral and all at the same time kind of contouring your lips so you get that defined lip but not a stark difference between whatever else you're putting on your lips. It's so very natural and a gorgeous shade. Highly recommend Nudist from Jones Road. And finally, the Dior lip liner, contour lip liner in the shade 259 Nude Ribbon. This right here is Nude Ribbon in the Dior liner. So much more pinky than French, a lot more pinky than Nudist. This one I love. And when I tell you this does not go anywhere, it does not go anywhere. It will stay on your lips and hang on for dear life, whether you like it or not. I wouldn't wear this as a lip liner with just a gloss because the gloss will fade away and then you're left with a very defined line around your lips. I would reserve this one for wearing with a long-lasting lipstick. A matte lipstick like the NARS Explicit, which I will talk about, and also the Westman Atelier matte lipsticks as well. Those my like favorite lipstick of all time. This is one I would save for a lipstick day and not necessarily a gloss day because it hangs on. It really, really hangs on. And depending on the shade that you pick up, right? Like I do want to look into more nudie shades that could serve a purpose of keeping that contour on the lips all day. But believe you me when I tell you that this will not go anywhere. It reminds me of the Fenty lip liners. It also comes with its own sharpener, which I always, always, always appreciate. And it also comes with a little lip brush on the end to feather it in. I also do actually do suggest you do that so that you're not left with like a line along your lips. It's a good idea to feather this in just a little bit so that it's not as stark. Final stretch. Let's talk about lips. Let's start with lip treatments. The only one I'm going to talk about today is the Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve. Love, so nourishing, so very, very long lasting. I love these. They're incredible, incredible. If you can pick one up, you will not regret it. This one is strawberry sorbet. I did have the clear one. My husband has stolen it. It is his now. So I will be picking up more of these and having them all around the house because not only do they feel great on the lips, they really, really do a great job treating the lips. They treat the lips. And this one leaves just a little bit of a hint of color behind. One of the best lip treatments I have tried this year, for sure, 100%. I picked up two more NARS Explicit shades. I love these lipsticks, and I took the opportunity at the Sephora sale to pick up a couple of more. I picked up Liaison and Blame. This is Liaison, and this is Blame. Liaison is a little bit darker, a little bit more on the rosy side, or the peachy side, actually. And then this is Blame. I'm wearing Blame today, and it has a little bit more of a pink hue to it. I love these lipsticks a lot. They are a classic satin formula. I've talked about them so very much, and I just wanted to show you these two new shades. It is no secret that I love them, and I love the shade range. And if I could have all of them, I would. Trust me, I would. Moving on to lip gloss, I have tried two. This is the Huda Beauty Faux Filler in She Flirty. Here is a swatch of this lip gloss. It's supposed to be extremely high shine. It's a lip gloss, so it's shiny. Is it extremely shiny? No. I find it to be an okay lip gloss. It's okay. I don't know. A lot of people love this lip gloss. I think it's okay. I think it's all right. Would I buy it again? Probably not. I will use it because I have it because it's not bad, but it's nothing to write home about. If I want to get like a super crazy high shine from this lip gloss, I have to put on mounds of it. And then when you put on mounds of it, then it starts to like do the lippy thing, you know, the strings and stuff. So that has been my experience with it. So it's okay if I apply it in one layer, it doesn't do anything out of this world. And finally, I tried the Say Glossy Bounce in the shade Disco. I have one other shade in this formula and decided to pick up one more. I love this. Let me show you a quick swatch. Glossy Bounce in Disco, and this is the Huda. So they both look like they have the same amount of shine because they are lip glosses. The one thing that I'll say about the Say is that it feels a little bit more comfortable on the lips. It's a little bit more long lasting, and the shine is a tad more than the Huda without having to add the same amount. To get the shine from the Say, you need one swipe. For the Huda, in my experience, you need a few layers and then you get kind of over applying it. So I do prefer the Say over the Huda gloss. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous shade, and paired with the Say lip liner in French, I call it the French Disco. That is the pair. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. So I love this formula. It is so very comfortable on the lips. Beautiful shine. I love it. It's gorgeous, and I love this disco shade too. It has a little bit of a shimmer to it, but nothing over the top. Did I get through everything? Is that everything? Are we done? Are we done yet? That is it. That is all for this October-November makeup roundup speed reviews. I really do hope that you find these helpful. As always, thank you so very much for watching. Everything I do have on my face today will be also listed in the description box down below, along with everything I talked about today. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.